Kate Tayler. And in case of a fire, there's your exit. Well, there's your closest exit getting out. Scene 1. It's a hot morning in June in an Ohio suburb. Theo enters carrying an oversized bouncy ball and addresses the audience.
It's hot. The perfect day to come out and play.
Theo begins bouncing her oversized bouncy ball. She is clumsy and frequently misses catching the ball.
My mom told me to get rid of this ball when we were packing, but I snuck it into our new house in my backpack. She said, "Theo, you always make such a ruckus with that thing. Theo, put that thing away and do your homework." But I think that my ball is so much more fun than homework. Anything is more fun than homework.
Theo bounces the ball some more, catching it once perfectly and becoming immensely proud of herself.
Yes! Did you see that? I caught it. I've gotten better at catching it recently. I didn't used to be good at catching it, but then I started bouncing it back and forth with my best friend from my old town, and I got so much better at it. I wish I had a friend here to bounce with.
Theo bounces the ball again, sadly humming or maybe singing to herself. Parker enters carrying materials for her lemonade stand, perhaps a crate of lemons. Suddenly, Theo's ball bounces over and hits Parker, knocking some materials out of Parker's arms.
Hey, watch it. You made me drop all my lemons.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. My ball just ran away from me. Here, let me help.
Theo and Parker bump into each other, knocking more things out of Parker's arms.
Just leave it. I'll get it. You're only making things worse.
No, really, I can help.
Theo knocks the remaining items out of Parker's arms in an attempt to help.
This is great. Just great. Now everything's all dirty and I'm gonna be late. Move out of the way. I need to clean this up.
Theo backs away and retrieves her ball while Parker gathers her things.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to knock your things down. I was just trying to catch my ball, and I'm getting better at it. Really, I am. But I'm better than I used to be. I used to almost never catch it, but now I can catch it. Well, most of the time anyway, but sometimes it just runs away.
Yeah? Well, keep practicing. You could use it. But please practice somewhere far, far away from me. Now I have to go or I'm gonna be late.
Oh, wait, where are you going? We could bounce it together. Then I'd get better for sure.
I don't have time to bounce. I have a serious business to run, and you're making me run late from opening it.
A business? That's so cool. What kind of business?
For your information, I run a lemonade stand. My lemonade stand is the best lemonade stand in this neighborhood. My lemonade stand is the best lemonade stand in the town, and my lemonade stand might just be the best lemonade stand in the whole world.
Wow. A lemonade stand? That sounds so fun. Can I help you with your lemonade stand?
First of all, it's not fun, it's very serious. This is my job. Absolutely not. It's my lemonade stand, and you just knocked all my lemons down. I'm not letting you mess it up anymore.
Well, can I at least come hang out with you? Please? I mean, maybe we could bounce together and then while you run your lemonade stand.
No way. I don't even know who you are, and you've already made me 2 minutes late.
I'm Theo. What's your name? If I know your name and you know my name, then we won't be strangers anymore, and we can hang out at your lemonade stand.
No. Stay away from my lemonade stand, Theo. Every morning, I open my lemonade stand at 11 a.m. sharp. Not 11:01 a.m., not 11:02 a.m., and now it's 11:03 a.m. This is a serious business, and you would just mess it all up. Now I have to go.
Parker begins to head over to her lemonade stand, pushing past Theo.
But wait, you never told me your name.
It's Parker.
Theo watches Parker set up her lemonade stand and slumps back down to talk to the audience.
Well, that was rude.
Theo bounces her ball in small motions.
I didn't mean to knock down Parker's lemons, and I even said I was sorry. I didn't see Parker coming at all, and then my ball went and messed everything up. There goes my chance at making any friends.
At this point, Parker has opened the lemonade stand for the day. It is a very regimented operation. Each cup of lemonade is $1, and the customers are efficiently ushered through, paying, receiving the cup, and then swiftly being encouraged to leave. Charlie enters, perhaps humming or singing or dancing their way over to the lemonade stand to buy lemonade. As soon as Charlie gets their lemonade, they exit as ushered by Parker.
Parker's probably gonna tell all the other kids about what a mess I made. Now I'll never make any friends.
Next, Quinn enters, noticeably drawn into herself and quiet. She carries a small squish ball that's a replica of the planet Mercury. Quinn reluctantly gets her lemonade and exits.
Look at all the friends that Parker has at the lemonade stand. I bet any of them would play ball with Parker any day.
Finally, Jamie enters, dribbling the basketball on her way in and approaches the lemonade stand. Parker stops Jamie in her tracks and demands the basketball be still before getting any closer to the lemonade stand. Jamie carries the ball, gets the lemonade, and exits.
I wish I had a lemonade stand. Then maybe kids would want to come in and they'd want to be my friend. Wait a minute. That's it! If Parker won't let me go to her lemonade stand, then I'll make my own. If Parker's friends get thirsty when they finish Parker's lemonade, I can make lemonade for them, and then they can be my friends too.
Theo goes to exit, nearly forgetting her ball.
Oops, can't forget this. Oh, I'm so excited to make a lemonade stand.
Theo exits. Scene 2, the next morning. Theo enters, carrying a haphazard collection of lemonade stand materials, and of course, her bouncy ball. Parker is already setting up her lemonade stand. Theo addresses the audience, still holding all the materials.
Well, it took a lot of convincing, but my mom said that I could make a lemonade stand. I think I have all the right stuff. What do you need to make lemonade again? Lemons, water, sugar, ice, and of course I have to put it in.
Parker finishes setting up for the day and opens up shop. Theo notices.
Oh no, if I want Parker's friends to get any of my lemonade after they get some from Parker, I better get set up.
Theo flips the box she's carrying everything in and turns it into a lemonade stand. She begins setting up. It's clumsy and disorganized. Again, Charlie enters first, humming or singing or dancing their way over to the lemonade stand to buy lemonade. As soon as Charlie gets their lemonade, they exit as ushered by Parker. Theo tries to wave them over, but they don't see.
No, don't go. Don't you want more lemonade?
Quinn enters, noticeably drawn into herself and quiet. She carries a small squish ball that's a replica of the planet Venus. Quinn reluctantly gets her lemonade. Theo tries even harder to wave her over.
Hey, I have lemonade when you're done. Come get some lemonade and maybe we can be friends.
Quinn notices Theo and gets flustered. Quinn exits quickly.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to scare them off.
Finally, Jamie enters, dribbling a basketball on her way in, and approaches the lemonade stand. Parker gives Jamie a sharp look, and Jamie stills her basketball. Jamie carries the ball and gets the lemonade. Theo tries hardest to wave her over.
Lemonade! I have lemonade!
Jamie doesn't notice and exits with basketball and lemonade in hand.
Oh, they didn't even notice me.
Parker closes up shop and begins packing. Theo looks to her and sadly does the same. Once they've finished, Theo sets it down and addresses the audience again.
I set up my own lemonade stand since Parker wouldn't let me hang out with her at her lemonade stand, but no one came. And the one person, her friends didn't even notice me, and the one person that did notice me got scared and ran away. I still have no one to bounce my ball with, and no one wanted any of my lemonade. I wonder if there's something that could get their attention tomorrow.
Theo dashes off stage, almost forgetting their lemonade stand items, energized with a new idea. side of Theo. Theo enters in an absolutely ridiculous outfit, carrying her lemonade stand materials clumsily and setting them up quickly before coming to address the audience.
Well, what do you think? This is my attention-grabbing outfit. And when I'm wearing this, they won't be able to miss me. There's no way they won't see me today. This is the best idea I've ever had.
Theo, overcome with excitement, starts setting up for the day. Parker is, as usual, already set up and ready to go.
Okay, all set up. I've got my outfit, and everything is all ready to go. Today's gonna be the day that I get my first friend. Customer.
Theo cannot contain her excitement. She bounces her ball and fidgets, and eventually begins singing some sort of recognizable part of a musical theater song on repeat. Not the whole song, and not necessarily even the beginning of the song, but rather
Let
a
it
portion
go.
of the song that's particularly
Let it
suitable to
go.
Theo's head.
Let it go.
Charlie
Let
enters,
it
as they
go.
normally would, and almost
Let it
approaches Parker's lemonade
go.
stand, but stops
Let it
during the song
go.
singing. They approach
Let
Theo's
it
lemonade stand.
Go.
Theo is very wrapped up in
Let
bouncing the
it
ball in the
go.
song and loses herself for a moment.
I love that song.
Theo jumps, startled and excited from the prospect of her very first customer.
That song? Yeah, I love that song. That's from my favorite musical.
It is a pretty good musical, although it's not my favorite musical. I'd tell you, but you probably wouldn't know what musical I was talking about.
Try me. My older brother loves musicals. What's your favorite musical?
Well, my older sister says it's pretty underground, but it's called Hamilton.
I know Hamilton. My brother loves Hamilton.
Oh, well, yes, Hamilton is the best musical.
It's so fun. I love all the songs. Well, the songs that my mom lets me listen to. But hey, what's your name? My name's Theo.
Well, Theo, my name is Charlie. And you're going to want to remember that name, because someday I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be a Broadway star.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. It's nice to meet you, Charlie. Does that mean that you can, sing and dance?
Duh! How could I be a Broadway star if I couldn't sing or dance? I'm in 3 dance classes already, and my dance teacher says I'm so good that he might let me take 4 when school starts again.
4 dance classes? Wow, that's so cool. I've always wanted to learn to dance, but my parents are always so busy taking my older brother to football games that they said there wasn't time for me to take dance classes.
I can teach you to dance.
Really? Okay.
Theo comes around to the other side of the stand to join Charlie. Parker looks a bit miffed that Charlie never came, but doesn't notice that Charlie is with Theo. Quinn enters, briefly noticing Charlie at Theo's stand. Quinn carries a small squish ball that's a replica of the planet Earth. Quinn reluctantly gets her lemonade and exits.
Well, not right now.
Why not now?
I know a lot of dances, but I'll have to choreograph one that I think will be good for you to start with. And of course, I don't even have the right shoes.
How long will it take?
Sometimes it takes days for me to come up with one of my dances.
Days?
Oh, yes. But I think I could come up with something to teach you by tomorrow.
That'd be so awesome.
It will be awesome. Will you be here again tomorrow?
Yes.
Perfect. By the way, what are you doing here? And what are you wearing?
Oh, this? I'm running a lemonade stand, and this is my attention-grabbing outfit to attract customers.
Your outfit sure is something. But lemonade? Yum, I love lemonade. Could I have a cup?
Of course.
Theo runs back to the other side of the counter excitedly. Jamie enters, holding her basketball, and approaches Parker's lemonade stand. Jamie gets the lemonade and exits.
Oh no! I forgot to mix all the stuff together for the lemonade.
Oh, that's okay. I can just go over to
No,
Parker's.
wait. I have everything here. It's just a custom lemonade stand. How Here you go, Charlie.
Thank you, Theo. How much money do I owe you?
Oh, right. How about $1?
Here you go, $1.
Charlie hands Theo the dollar and takes a sip of their lemonade.
Wow, this is the best lemonade I've ever had. Thanks, Theo.
Oh, yay! I'm so glad you like it.
So yummy. I'll see you tomorrow, Theo.
Charlie exits. Parker has already closed up shop and cleaned up for the day. Theo excitedly moves to address the audience.
I can't believe it. My very first customer and a new friend. And Charlie even said that they're coming back tomorrow to teach me a dance. This is so exciting. I knew my attention-grabbing outfit would work. I can't wait for tomorrow.
Theo almost forgets to clean up her lemonade stand, but remembers and then exits. Scene 4, the next morning. Parker enters with her usual sense of purpose. Theo is earlier than usual and bumps into Parker as she enters.
Whoops, sorry.
Again? You need to watch where you're going. What are you doing with all that lemonade stand stuff? I thought I told you that you couldn't help me.
Well, Parker, since I couldn't help you with your lemonade stand, I made my own lemonade stand. And Charlie even said that it was the best lemonade that they've ever had.
Charlie said that?
Yes, they did. And Charlie's gonna come teach me a dance today. You should come too, Parker. I bet it's gonna be an awesome dance.
Absolutely not. I have a real business to run, and I have 0 time to dance when I'm running my lemonade stand.
Really? I had plenty of time yesterday. I could have danced forever.
Well, that's because you don't have nearly the amount of customers that I have. I have real work to do, and once again, you're going to make me late.
Parker storms off to set up in a huff. Charlie enters, catching the tail end of Parker storming off.
What's Parker's problem this time?
I told Parker that you were gonna teach me a dance, and I asked if she wanted to come too, and she just said that she was too busy with her lemonade stand, I guess.
Yeah, that's just how Parker is.
I don't know why Parker wouldn't want to dance. It's gonna be so much fun.
Exactly. Parker never wants to do anything fun. All Parker cares about is opening on time and closing on time and making the line go fast. Parker has no time for fun.
Everyone has time for fun. They just have to find it. Why doesn't Parker want to find time for fun?
I don't know. Parker used to come outside and have fun with us, but a few summers ago, she started living with her grandmother and started the lemonade stand, and then Parker's been this way ever since. All lemonade stand and no fun.
But why would Parker make a lemonade stand if she wasn't having any fun? I met you yesterday at my lemonade stand and we had fun.
Who knows? But your lemonade stand is much more fun than Parker's. Parker makes me leave as soon as I get my lemonade.
Quinn enters, noticing Charlie at Theo's stand again. Quinn carries a small squish ball that's a replica of the planet Mars. Charlie sees Quinn and waves. Quinn gives a small wave back, stopping to look Charlie and Theo's way. Parker notices Quinn's hesitation. Quinn turns away from Charlie and Theo, gets her lemonade from Parker, and exits.
Well, that wasn't very nice. That kid looked like she wanted to hang out with us. Who was that?
That's Quinn. Quinn's lived here forever.
I think I scared Quinn off the other day. But I was just trying to see if she wanted any lemonade.
Quinn's kind of shy. She's super friendly once you get to know her, but she doesn't usually go up to new people first. Maybe I'll bring Quinn over here tomorrow and introduce you.
Yes, please do. I'd love to meet Quinn.
Quinn loves space. She probably knows more about space than anyone.
Space? Space is the coolest.
Jamie enters, tossing her basketball up and catching it. Jamie approaches Parker's lemonade stand. Parker stares daggers at Jamie until she holds her basketball. Jamie gets the lemonade and exits.
Wow. Who is that? They're so good at catching their ball. I wish I could be that good.
Oh, that's Jamie. She's the best basketball player on the team at school, and she's been carrying that basketball around for like ever.
My best friend from back home used to always play catch with me, and we threw the ball we played, but since I moved here, I can't catch very well anymore. I wonder if Jamie would play catch with me sometime. Maybe then I could get better again.
Jamie's the best. You might not be able to keep up, but who could keep up with Jamie anyway? Oh well. Can I have some lemonade?
Oh, yes, lemonade. Extra sweet, right?
Extra sweet, you remembered.
Oh, of course.
Theo makes Charlie's lemonade as Parker closes up shop for the day.
Here you go.
Theo hands Charlie the lemonade, and Charlie hands Theo $1. Theo almost forgot to have Charlie pay.
This is superb.
Superb? Wow. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds superb.
Oh, yes. I better head home to get ready for one of my dance classes.
Hey, wait. You never taught me that dance that you were going to teach me.
Well, there isn't nearly enough time to teach you now. My dances are very challenging. I can teach you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That'd be great.
See you tomorrow, Theo. Thanks for the lemonade.
Bye, Charlie. See you tomorrow.
Theo quickly cleans up shop to go talk to the audience.
What a day. Charlie actually came back, and I think that we're for sure friends now. Charlie even said that they're coming back tomorrow. This is so exciting. Even if Parker was in a grumpy mood, I'm not going to let her get me down. Now I know that there are so many cool people here that I have to meet and become friends with. Maybe I'll even get to play catch with Jamie, and I'll get better at catching again. That would be superb. Thank you all for listening to me, but I gotta get ready for another great day tomorrow.
Theo takes her things and exits. Scene 5, the next day. Parker enters to get to her lemonade stand earlier today. She seems to be in a hurry. Parker talks mostly to herself, but maybe sometimes almost to the audience while she sets up.
I need to get ready before Theo gets here. I won't let Theo ruin my day again. She's so clumsy and loud. Why is Charlie going to Theo's lemonade stand? Theo's lemonade can't possibly be better than mine. Theo only started this week. I've had my lemonade stand for 2 summers. It's not fair. I work so much harder than Theo, and then Charlie just stops coming to my lemonade stand to go to Theo's? Ugh!
Theo enters with her usual enthusiasm, also earlier than usual. Theo catches Parker looking at her and waves. Parker scowls and continues setting up. Theo shakes her head and hums while she sets up for the day. Charlie enters and finishes the lyrics to the song Theo is humming.
Charlie, I swear you know all the songs.
If I'm gonna make it big, I gotta know what I'm singing.
Parker makes it a loud point to let everyone know that she's set up for the day first.
Lemonade! Come get your lemonade!
It's not a race, Parker.
Parker ignores Charlie.
Charlie, just ignore Parker. If she doesn't want to have fun, then let's not let her get in the way of us having fun.
You're right, Theo. But hey, do you want to learn the dance?
You bet I do.
Theo abandons the rest of setting up the lemonade stand to come around to the other side with Charlie. The dance doesn't have to be anything overly difficult or long, though Charlie is indeed a pretty good dancer, and Theo is clumsy, but trying her best to keep up. Charlie believes they might just be the best dancer in the world, and dances with that same energy.
Okay, so it starts with one of these, and then we do one of these.
Okay. This, and then this.
Well, not quite like that, but you'll get it. Let's keep going. So, after we do those, then we do one of these, do a spin, and one of these.
Okay.
Theo poorly attempts the moves Charlie showed her.
Wait. Not like that. Let me show you again.
Charlie redoes the whole sequence thus far for Theo, trying their best to explain, but not necessarily being at the point of being able to teach others how to dance. Theo tries to follow along,
I've seen worse.
Really?
Not everyone is Broadway material. But also, no one gets anywhere without practice. Why do you think I go to dance class? I need to practice to get better, so that I'm the best ever when I'm old enough for Broadway.
Oh, that makes sense. But I liked being your friend, and I wanted to learn the dance so that we could keep being friends.
Theo, I already have dance friends. I don't like you because you wanted to learn my dance. I like hanging out with you.
You do?
Of course. Besides, if you were as good as dancer as me, then you'd be competition.
I don't think you have to worry about that, Charlie.
And. You make the best lemonade in the world.
Wow, thanks, Charlie. Do you want to come?
Yes.
Theo realizes she never finished setting up and does so before making Charlie a cup of lemonade. Charlie reaches into their pocket.
Wait. Oh no, I forgot my money at home. Never mind, I'll get lemonade tomorrow.
Wait, no, that's okay. I don't need $1 from you. Being your friend is worth much more than $1.
Really? Thanks, Theo.
Order up 1 extra sweet lemonade.
Quinn enters carrying a Jupiter squish ball. Quinn is noticeably more hesitant today than we've ever seen her. Parker is eyeing her intensely. Quinn sees Theo and Charlie laughing together. Quinn stops, looking between Parker and Theo's stands. She's torn.
Come on, Quinn.
Parker's voice halts Theo and Charlie, and she notices Quinn standing there. Quinn looks to Parker and again to Theo and Charlie. Charlie and Theo wave to Quinn. Quinn fumbles nervously with her Jupiter ball. Without leaving time to second-guess herself, Quinn hurriedly walks over to Theo's lemonade stand.
Hey, Quinn.
Hi, Charlie. Hi, Quinn. I'm Theo. I've heard so much about you. Do you want some lemonade?
Hi, Theo. Nice to meet you. Sure, yes, please.
Quinn is noticeably nervous and is clinging tight to her Jupiter ball.
How would you like it?
How would I like what?
How would you like your lemonade? Charlie likes theirs extra sweet, so how do you like yours, Quinn?
Oh, not too sweet, but not too sour either.
Not too sweet, but not too sour. Sounds like you like your lemonade just right. 1 just right lemonade coming right up.
Theo begins making Quinn's lemonade.
I'm glad you came over, Quinn.
Thanks, Charlie. I hope Parker isn't mad at me.
Who cares what Parker thinks? Parker isn't nice to you.
I know, but I just don't want Parker to hate me.
Quinn glances briefly in Parker's direction. Parker is noticeably frustrated.
Quinn, if Parker was a good friend, she'd actually want to hang out with you and talk to you instead of just selling you lemonade and making you leave. Are you friends with the cashier at the grocery store?
Well, no.
Then what's the difference?
Quinn thinks on this for a moment.
Order up 1 just right lemonade. Just for you, Quinn.
Quinn hands Theo $1 and switches her Jupiter to the other hand to accept the lemonade.
What's that?
What's what?
That ball in your hand. It's kind of cool.
It's Jupiter.
Oh, right, because Charlie told me that you know, like, everything about space.
Actually, one of the cool things about space is that no one gets to know everything about it. The universe is so big that it never ends. It's infinite.
Wow, that's huge.
So is Jupiter. It's the biggest planet in our solar system, but get this, it has the shortest day.
Jupiter's day is shorter? How is Jupiter's day shorter than ours?
You know how our day is 24 hours long? Well, that's because it takes 24 hours for the Earth to spin once on its axis. So that's how long a day is. Jupiter spins super fast, so it only takes 10 hours for it to spin on its axis. So Jupiter's day is only 10 hours long.
Wow. I could only take like 2 dance classes in a day if I lived on Jupiter.
Parker's eyes are fixed on Theo's lemonade stand. Parker can't stop watching.
And you know what else? Jupiter has this thing called the Great Red Spot.
Quinn sets down her lemonade and turns the Jupiter ball to point out the great red spot to Charlie and Theo.
It looks itty bitty
Parker finally notices Jamie. Parker thrusts out her hand, waiting for Jamie's dollar. After Jamie gives Parker the dollar, Parker pours Jamie's lemonade and shoos her away. Jamie is taken aback by Parker's extra rude attitude and exits.
And you know what else? You know how we have the moon?
Oh, the moon is so pretty.
Jupiter has 70 moons. And scientists are still finding more moons all the time. Wow. Imagine what the sky would look like at night if we had 70 moons. There'd be no room left for the stars.
Wow, 70 moons. That'd be like,
Theo picks up as many extra lemons as she can hold and starts holding them to the sky like Jupiter's moons. Charlie and Quinn join in and they laugh at all of the lemon moons in the sky. Parker packs up for the day and interrupts the group by storming through their area to leave in a huff.
Oh no, I think I made Parker mad.
Quinn sets her lemons back down. Charlie and Theo follow suit.
Don't worry about Parker, Quinn.
yeah, don't worry. I tried to make friends with Parker too, but she didn't want to hang out with me. I think Parker would have so much fun hanging out with us, but I don't want to.
Quinn, aren't you going to try your lemonade? Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Quinn picks up her lemonade and takes a drink.
Wow, this really is just right. This is the best, Theo. Thank you.
Oh yay, I'm so glad that you like it.
Theo, it's getting kind of late. Should we clean up for the day?
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
We'll help.
Really? That's so nice. Oh, you guys are the best.
Wait, I have an idea. Let's clean up like we're walking on the moon.
Yes, let's.
Three of them clean up the lemonade stand like they're walking on the moon.
Lemon, secure. Copy that. Roger.
Lemon moon secured. Copy. Thanks for your help. Bye, Theo. See you tomorrow. It was so nice to meet you. See you tomorrow, Theo.
See you tomorrow.
Charlie and Quinn exit, and Theo watches them go before talking to the audience.
I can't believe it. 2 friends now? Oh, I'm so glad Quinn could come over to hang out today. She's so cool, and I learned all this cool stuff about like, space and the universe. I even got to try to learn Charlie's dance today. Maybe tomorrow, one of them will want to play catch with me. I gotta go, but I can't wait for tomorrow.
Theo exits. Scene 6, the next day. Parker enters, clearly still upset about the day before. She sets up for the day hastily. There's no sign of Theo, and Parker looks towards the audience, debating. Parker doesn't approach, but talks mostly to the audience, but she's not quite sure how it's done.
First, Theo stole Charlie from me. Now Quinn? Theo just moved here and now she's taking all of my customers. I've been working harder than anyone for 2 summers, and then Theo just rolls up and takes all my customers? It's not fair! I only have 1 left, and just 1 customer isn't enough to be a successful business.
Theo enters. Parker sees her and pretends she wasn't just talking to the audience. Theo considers waving to Parker, but thinks better of it. Theo finishes getting ready surprisingly quickly. She looks around and sees no one approaching yet, so Theo decides to throw her bouncy ball up in the air and catch it. Theo is rarely successful in this endeavor and ends up chasing it quite a bit. Theo is still trying to catch it when Charlie and Quinn approach. Quinn carries a boom squish ball today.
Hey, Theo. Hi, Theo.
Theo turns to see them and consequently misses the ball and runs to grab it.
Hey, oh hey, anyone want to play catch with me? I get a whole lot better when people play catch with me.
Oh, I'm no good at catching. That's why I dance. There's no ball that can hit me in ballet.
That's okay, Charlie. You already saw that dance isn't quite my strong suit. What about you, Quinn? Do you want to play catch with me?
No, thank you. But could I have some lemonade? Oh, I want it just right, please. You know I do.
Theo prepares Charlie's lemonade.
It's actually a special full moon today. It's called the strawberry moon.
Ooh, that sounds cute. What does that mean?
Well, it just means that it's the full moon in June, but they call it that because it's when strawberries are to be picked. I love strawberries. Here you go, Charlie.
Charlie takes the lemonade and drinks some. Jamie enters, dribbling her basketball fiercer than we've ever seen. Parker has again been staring down Theo's lemonade stand, but turns her focus sharply on Jamie.
Jamie, how many times do I have to tell you? No dribbling with my lemonade stand. I don't want you to ruin it.
Jamie holds her ball for a moment.
No dribbling? Oh, you mean like this?
Jamie dribbles closer to the lemonade stand, taunting Parker.
Yes, I mean exactly like that. Stop it! Stop it right now!
Jamie continues dribbling.
Sorry, were you saying something? I can't hear you over my ball hitting the ground. It's pretty loud.
Theo and Charlie and Quinn are all watching this play back, holding back laughter.
Jamie, I mean it. Stop!
Jamie continues dribbling closer yet.
Jamie, the best!
Oh my gosh!
Wow, Theo, that was awesome.
I can't believe you caught that. Yeah, neither can I.
Jamie crosses to Theo and the others.
Wow, that was a solid catch. That was so cool. Sorry about that. I didn't mean it for it to come your way, but it looks like you had it under control.
I guess so. Oh, wow, I really can't believe I caught that.
That was seriously impressive. Do you play basketball or something?
No, I used to play catch all the time with my best friend back home, and I got really good when we would play together, but I never played anything.
Theo hands Jamie the ball.
Well, you should. That was an awesome catch. I'm Jamie, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Theo. It's nice to meet you, Jamie. Charlie and Quinn told me all about how good you are at basketball, and I was hoping that we could play sometime. You know, if we became friends.
I don't think I can keep up with you, Theo. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Parker is absolutely seething watching Theo's lemonade stand.
Really? Oh my gosh, that would be the best.
Seriously, anytime. Are you new around here? I've never seen you before.
I just moved into the neighborhood, but I've already made friends with Quinn and Charlie.
Yeah, Theo's the best.
And she makes the best lemonade in the world.
Ooh, lemonade? I could go for one of those. Can I have some lemonade, please?
Of course. How would you like your lemonade?
What do you mean?
Well, Charlie likes their lemonade extra sweet. Quinn likes her lemonade just right. So, how do you like your lemonade, Jamie?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know we could choose. Can I have mine extra cold? It's such a hot day.
Absolutely. One extra cold lemonade coming right up.
Theo begins to make Jamie's lemonade, but Parker storms over to the stand, unable to stop herself anymore.
Stop, stop, stop!
What's wrong?
You've taken all of my customers. First Charlie, then Quinn, and Jimmy was the last one I had. My lemonade stand is the best, and I work so much harder than you, and it's not fair that you're taking all of my customers, Theo.
Parker, I never wanted to take any of your customers. I just wanted to make friends. I tried to be your friend, but you wouldn't let me hang out with you at your lemonade stand. I figured that the only way to make friends was to make my own lemonade stand that your friends could come to after yours.
There can only be one. People don't want to go to 2 lemonade stands, only one. And I was here first, so it's only fair that you close your lemonade stand and then everyone has to come back to mine.
No, I don't want to go back to your lemonade stand, Parker.
I don't either.
I don't really want to either. What? Why not? All of you used to come every day, and ever since Theo opened up her lemonade stand, Theo stole all of you from me.
I didn't mean to.
Theo didn't do anything wrong. Parker, ever since you opened your lemonade stand, that's all you care about.
We used to all be friends before you opened your lemonade stand.
We are all friends, but now I run a business. You're just jealous.
Parker! No, you're not getting it. Ever since you opened your lemonade stand, you stopped caring about all of us. Do you think I couldn't make my own lemonade? I can. I didn't ever go to your lemonade stand because I cared that much about lemonade. I went because you're my friend, and I wanted to hang out with you. Well, at least you used to be.
Yeah, once you made that lemonade stand, you stopped being nice to us. they got away from you.
See, that's just it. You don't care about us. You only care about your lemonade stand.
I'm in 3 dance classes right now, and you don't even know that because you never talk to me anymore.
Yeah, my travel team just won our game this weekend, and you don't know that either.
And it's a full moon tonight, and you don't even care.
Well, so the next customer.
See right there, Parker? You only see us as customers anymore, and we used to be friends. Theo cares about being our friend more than our lemonade stand.
Yeah, Theo always talks to me about space. I love space. I have fun hanging out with Theo.
And he wants to play ball with me. I'm hardly allowed to hold my basketball at your lemonade stand.
And Theo let me teach her a dance. Theo actually wants to be our friend and cares about us. You only care about lemonade and customers, and you haven't been a very good friend to any of us. And Theo's lemonade is better.
Oh, Parker, I thought it was really cool that you had a lemonade stand and all these friends, and I just wanted to be your friend too. But you weren't very nice to me at all. And all I ever wanted to do was be your friend. I'll still be your friend, but I don't think you really want to be mine.
I didn't want you to mess it all up, Theo. And now it's clear you did anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. No one wants to go to my lemonade stand at all.
Parker leaves the group before they all see her cry and sits down in a place to talk to the audience. There's quiet at Theo's lemonade stand for a moment. They all look around, unsure of how to address what just happened.
Theo, could I have my lemonade?
Oh yeah, here you go, extra cold.
The 4 of them continue to laugh and chat, but it fades into the background as Parker becomes the focus and addresses the audience.
No one wants to come to my lemonade stand. No one wants to be my friend. No one likes me. No one wants me around.
Jamie and Theo bounce Theo's ball to each other, while Charlie and Quinn chat.
I just wanted to make my lemonade stand the best lemonade stand ever. I didn't mean to hurt my friends along the way. I guess I probably was kind of mean to them, but I just wanted to make it the best.
Parker looks over her shoulder at the group.
They look like they're having fun.
The group laughs at something Jamie said.
They probably never want to see me again. I guess I haven't been a good friend lately. How can I make it up to them? I'm gonna go try to apologize.
Parker has several long moments where she debates with herself whether or not to go over there. In the background, the 4 are still having fun and laughing and enjoying each other's company. Finally, Parker stands up, brushes herself off, and hesitantly approaches. Noticing Parker's approach, the 4 of them get quiet, waiting to see what Parker will say. There is a long pause before Parker finds something to say.
Hi. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Can I have some lemonade, Theo?
There's a long pause, and everyone looks to Theo, anxiously waiting to see what she'll say.
How would you like your lemonade, Parker?
Ask questions about the writing, the acting, what it's like working on a script, etc. Anyone have any questions? Yes, Missy.
What was your inspiration for writing the script?
Okay, inspiration, I saw a terrible production of The Crucible, and it was truly something, and I realized that there was like no movement, it was all kind of monotone, and I was like, I can't pay attention to this because it is nothing to look at. ADHD aside, like that doesn't help, but especially having no movement, like really long speeches that are kind of ambiguous, like things like that. And so I was looking for a thing for my honors project, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll try and write something like that. And I worked on Treehouse Troupe my sophomore year and fell in love with theater for young audiences. And so I was like, kids, ADHD, make something exciting, let's do that. Did that answer?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Did you have like any inspiration behind like each character? Because I noticed they were all like drastically different.
Yeah. So Theo was actually named after a Greek, I don't know if it's like philosopher, it was like a student of Aristotle, Theophrastus, which was like the first like documented like ADHD person. And it said something about, there's actually a quote in the program if you look for it, but it was something about how like he would be left slumbering alone in the theater. And so with that, like Theo was created, and I kind of wanted to make something where they wouldn't be alone slumbering in the theater. But all of the characters are written with they, them pronouns, so anyone can be cast in any role. And then each character, like there were some common tropes, but like I'll be honest, Kelly was kind of like my Theo inspiration. Eventually, but we're gonna have fun along the way and talk to everybody that comes through. Like, we're gonna have a good time with it. So, I revenge your question, but
We can have fun and have lemonade.
My question is about, where you plan on taking this, if you plan on taking it further, because I thought it was brilliant. I have a heart for children with disabilities and allowing them to be at productions such as this. I'm a mom of a son with autism, and he has never been able to go to a performance in his life. And he's missing out on something so wonderful like this. So I would love to see you continue to do this work, and I'm just hopeful and wondering what your plans are.
So there's definitely some things, I wish you would brought him.
I know. I didn't know if it would be this, like, it would be so chill. Can I say that?
That was the goal. So there we go. So there were some things that like I wanted to do but didn't really know how to do. And also like the ending part was particularly hard because I don't know how to make 9-year-olds fight convincingly. I didn't want it to get too adult, but I have like looked through and like we talked it over, and I definitely want to like revise some things. There was a character that I wanted to create that was like a fourth wall breaker almost. So like it would be Lauren's like reading the stage directions, but also being the like go-between from the audience to the people, so that they could like step back and have all the action happening while there's like an audience go-between to actually like, interact with the audience. So that if somebody's like yelling at one of the characters, then that person could like, oh, what do you think about that? What do you think how Theo reacted there? So something like that. I definitely am going to revise it some more and see where it goes with that, but this was a cool start. It was really cool to be able to see it happen.
Yeah.
Another one.
I know another question. Yeah. So one of the things that we try to teach adolescents and young adults with disabilities, and sometimes grade schoolers, is about social skills. So one of the things that Theo, really struggled with was interacting socially, and what that looks like to be appropriate or to make friends. It's hard for anyone to make friends, but when you have any type of disability, it's even more complicated. And so I think that this lends itself to an opportunity to teach children, adolescents, young adults how to navigate those really tough social situations, and then interact with them as well if they would. Parents are begging for social skills training and opportunities that don't involve therapists and don't involve counselors. Like, let my child be part of something that's comfortable for them and cool. this would be it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If I had more time, I was going to do like a resource guide type thing like we do with Treehouse Troupe, but time is limited these days.
No, this was incredible.
But that would also be something going forward in the future.
This isn't really a question, but more of a compliment. I really liked how, like, to kind of lobby, that's a volley off of that. I really liked, how, like, predictable the script was, so you could get comfortable really quickly, like, oh, this is the next day, tomorrow is gonna be the next day, the next day is gonna be the next day. I know exactly who's coming in here because everything's, like, the same, so it's not a matter of, like, there's a lot coming at me all at once, like, I know what's gonna happen, I'm just curious as to, like, how it plays out, if that makes sense. And I liked that, and I think that kids would be able to grab onto it easily, or at least more easily than they could other productions.
Thank you. That was another thing I had. At the end, I tried to have Theo like recap the day so that it was like, oh, what happened today? Okay, he was gonna tell you so we can prepare for tomorrow as well. Any other questions?
I loved how you ended it with the offering the lemonade and then like that moment where Theo said, what kind do you want? Like I thought that was a really nice like overarching end that like felt complete. And compliments.
Thank you.
Personally, I would love if she liked it extra sour. The original question was like, do you like it sweet or do you like it sour? And then it was sweet just right, and then too cold, and I was like, where's sour though? And it would be
Just straight up answer.
Squeezing yourself.
Love that.
I'm so well.
Any more questions? Kelly?
So, having read it before you guys went into rehearsal, and I know that you got some rewrites from both Lauren and I before you went into rehearsal, were there other things that you heard in terms of cadence and rhythm in your dialogue that you went, oh yeah, that just sounds, no, once you heard it?
Yes. There were a couple things you pointed out that I totally forgot to change, but I also heard 9-year-old wouldn't say follow suit. And I heard that in there, and I was like, that's not probably something a 9-year-old would say. But like, there's always things like that where like you hear it out loud. I am notorious for saying the same thing like 6 times, like, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's intentional, but like saying the same word over and over, and you don't really pick it up until you hear it out loud. So I'd say that that was one of the things that like I did not get in the writing. Or I would just say really, really off-the-wall things that didn't quite piece together, and Lauren was like, what was that supposed to be? Seems to be. We were close to the King's stuff before it got here, but there's still a long way for it to go.
I liked that you repeated yourself, and some of the phrases were used over and over. Obviously, I don't have a background in this at all. But in children's literature, and when we're reading to young children, especially when they have disabilities, they will catch on when things are repeated, and they love that. They absolutely love that. And one thing that they would take away is when those phrases were repeated. They would walk out, especially a child with autism, or a child even with ADHD maybe, would walk out of the performance and they would repeat the phrase over and over and over again. So they would remember that, and it would stick with them.
No,
So I loved that part. I thought you did that on purpose.
Some of them were on purpose, some of them were just clunky and accidental.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Do we have any more questions? Alex?
I have a question for the actors.
Oh, yeah.
They all like perked up. They're like, but I guess I just wondered how you approached the roles, both having to play 9-year-olds, which are significantly younger than you are, and also did you like take into consideration that it was for kids with disabilities with ADHD or things? Did you take that into account in your performance, and how did you do or not do that?
I guess I'll start. Playing 9-year-old kids is kind of my brand. Spent a long time with that. We'll spend a long time doing that in the future. But yeah, I think as a person with like a physical disability, like accessible theater is like always something that's kind of been on my mind. And it's something that I've like looked much deeper into like these days, and like how to make that happen. But looking at it from like, you know, like an ADHD standpoint or like an autism standpoint, like I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But I just kind of tried to listen to what Kate had to say and what Lauren had to say, and Lauren gave a really good, it was like the second day of rehearsal, she's like, you have dog energy. And I said,
Got that one.
okay.
This one right here.
CC Sarah Chambers.
But yeah, I think for me it was just a combination of like really listening to what the people around me that had like experience had to say and trying to like fit that into my process and like embody that, but also just like channeling big dog energy. Like, you know what I mean?
So obviously my character is autistic. I realized I didn't know that much about autism in women as I thought I did. Because a lot of it is undiagnosed because people just are like, oh, women are quiet. That's how they are. And I also didn't want to play it as a stereotype, like, and overdo it, because then for kids, you know, with autism or otherwise, they wouldn't be able to connect to it as much. So I think focusing on that and making sure to seem like, yeah. And playing a 9-year-old, it was a similar thing that I realized is like my character is kind of like a baby kitten, because she is like, she'll have her time to herself, and it's a routine every day. They like sleep in the same spot, but then once you get them excited, they're so playful and they're ready to like jump in, but they can get scared still, you know. So it's like that balance. I think that's like embodying that and like trying not to think. It's a weird in between of like, I feel like, you know, as like me my age, it's like over analyzing what people say, or like, you know, trying to analyze it way too much. It's like you're a kid and it's like that mindset, you know, it's like you wouldn't necessarily think in that way. So it's trying to change that, I guess.
Volley, I think was the word used. Volleying off of what you said. I've never played a 9-year-old before, so I was. Charlie is very, very out there. They constantly are almost like boosting their own ego. And for those that know me, I don't like to do that. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. So when I was first playing Charlie, I was like, yeah. Charlie's like, yeah, don't worry, remember my name because one day I will be on like Broadway. And then Lauren was like, no, I need more. I don't know if I can say the word, but a-hole energy. Like I need more of that. And I was just like, all right then. And just trying to get into the mindset that a 9-year-old would find no problem telling you, I'm gonna be big one day, you better watch out.
You will be. You watch.
So it definitely took some like time for me to like switch into that mentality of it's okay to boast about your accomplishments, but it's also like great to like let those fade away. So like Charlie stops talking about like boasting their own like ego to boosting Theo's, boosting Quinn's, boosting Jamie's, and totally tearing down Parker's. I say how it is.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. Approaching Jamie, I've never played a 9-year-old either. I probably will never play a 9-year-old ever again. But that's okay. I had a lot of fun. But approaching Jamie was oddly easy for me because while I was bouncing the basketball, all I had going through my head was the bad lip reading of get your head in the game. You guys know basketball, wait, love, basketball. That's literally what I had in my head the entire time.
Rehearsal.
And Maddie knows this. And so Jamie had to kind of get her head out of the game in a way. Like, in a way, she had to get her head out of the game. She was so busy, like, practicing ball, yeah, whatever, Parker's kind of a jerk, whatever, it's in the past, but once Parker started being mean to her, it was kind of like, oh, no, And that's when I think she really looked up. Like this is something small, but I physically started looking up more when Maddie was like, here, and I walked away. And the second, like, I throw the ball at Theo, great catch. She never missed.
Yeah.
That is fact.
No one in the audience will believe it, but it's fact. But it was kind of like she crossed over into a world that she never really had experience with. She was friends with Quinn, but in a way she was so like focused on her own thing, she didn't really notice the world around her. So that was the biggest thing for Jamie. I was just, get your head in the game, look up, oh my gosh, there's this whole other world. I can like, not only am I confident, I can make sure other people are confident too. So that was my biggest thing for Jamie.
Right. For Parker,
I immediately thought of Lucy from Charlie Brown.
Oh my god.
I'm
yes.
Thank you. I was like, all right, 9-year-old who's not very nice, Lucy. And something else I wondered, and I know we briefly discussed this, was maybe Parker might have a little bit of OCD because she or they are like very like, I have to get the lemonade, I have to have this in order every single day, and when something didn't go their way, they were like really upset about it. And so I think I took that into consideration when playing Parker, and then I also thought, you know, with my movements when setting up the lemonade stand, when we were talking about the repetition, I was like, I have to do this exactly the same because that's how Parker would want it, and that's how it was written. I know Lauren was like, make sure you do it the same way every time. So that was my approach for Parker. Anyone else have any more questions?
I just thought all of the characters were played really, really, really well. Like, especially, okay, I forget what your character was.
Charlie.
Charlie was, oh my gosh, Charlie was awesome. I would have thought for sure that you were like a boastful, I want to be on Broadway. Like, I would have thought for sure that's your personality. That's who you are. 100%. You fooled me. You totally fooled me.
No, don't compliment me, I run away.
Oh my God. Really? You played it so well then. Like, you completely fooled me. The character with the solar system. Quinn, thank you.
Yes.
So I thought you played that so well because most people, oftentimes when they interact with someone with ADHD or any other invisible disability, that's what we call ADHD, autism, OCD, all of those, invisible disabilities. You would walk up to you at school or interact with you at the park or wherever, and you wouldn't notice that you have a disability, or you wouldn't know otherwise. And I think that that's the part that you played so well. When you met your friends, did you tell them, I have autism? No? That was never in the play whatsoever. And no one ever says that. No one ever comes up to someone and says, hi, my name is Brittany and I have anxiety. No, you don't say that. Wow. You don't say that, right?
I didn't feel seen like that.
Right? You just don't. And so I think that was really important for your role. I bet, how many of you knew that she had autism? Right? So that role was played perfectly because then we had the insight afterwards that, oh, really? She had autism. Wow, that's an invisible disability. I didn't catch that until we talked about it. And then you did your research on what that looks like. Girls with autism, nailed it. Totally nailed it.
Well, and the thing that, I did children's theater for an awful lot of years, and the thing that especially younger children look for is something that they can identify with in someone on stage. And I think Kate did a really good job of finding not necessarily the broad spectrum of people to identify with, but the person that's a little shy, the person who hides behind, their basketball. Like, I'm not gonna have a conversation with you. I have my basketball. I'm hiding in some way. And everyone has their own level of that kind of, I can identify with one or more of every single one of you up there. And that's what makes children comfortable with what they can see. That if you go too broad, it's like, no, that's not me, and then they start running away. The other thing too is Moses Goldberg, we had this conversation. Moses Goldberg, who actually is a very famous children's theater writer, said always, don't chase the audience. If you spend time chasing them, they will run away. You have to just be yourself and they will come to you. And I think that not only does the script do that, because you don't tell everything. You don't wrap everything up in a tidy little bow, but you leave room for the what ifs. And that's, I think, the really refreshing part of it. It's like, well, I now can walk away and think about what this relationship is going to look like tomorrow. And that's kind of cool. Because you didn't do all the work for the audience.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Oh.
How'd you get so talented?
I also like the answer.
I don't know if I have one, but
That's my big.
that's our big.
That's our big right there.
I don't know. I just have a lot of interests. I like a lot of things, and I like to find the intersection of those things sometimes. So I don't know. Hope I found an intersection here. And I'll continue working with it, seeing where it takes me.
I'm going to put my children on the spot
Ooh.
because they know that that's what they're here for. So, what'd you guys think?
I liked it.
Good answer, good
I think it's the talkative one. So, but I mean, they're older than the target age of this audience, but at the same time, they've also seen a lot of children's theater.
Sure.
Can you guys think of anything that would be helpful or was confusing or anything like that?
I'm pretty much caught on to everything except for she had autism. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Did you just think she was shy?
Oh yeah.
Which, again, still welcoming to people to see, well, I'm kind of like that. As opposed to really, boom, this person has a not invisible disability and I can't relate to that. I can only feel sorry for the way that people are treating that person. That's a walk away. You won't engage. So because you didn't know, but you're like shy, whatever, it doesn't matter, they're being mean and this is the way this person is, you accepted that.
Yeah, I like the way you are. It's okay. I'm just me.
That was one thing that I was worried about too, is I didn't want to play into stereotypes with the characters, and so I tried to distance, and so if you couldn't tell, that might not be a bad thing necessarily.
I think it was, knowing what you were going for with the script, I didn't even read it before, but knowing the context, I could see, little pieces in each character. I was like, I have just enough knowledge on these invisible disabilities that I can see this and I can see that and I can see that, but I liked the invisible nature of them. So I think that you did a really good job just crafting the whole script and the characters in general. I think that it's a really good jumping off point for you.
I guess I'll ask you all a question then. Is there anything that you could see that would be helpful to clarify for the future within the script or within the characters? What might you wish you had known about someone or was clearer about someone or something or anything like that?
I think it's best that we don't know that Quinn is diagnosed, I guess, because I think it just takes away the whole accusatory aspect of oh, I'm not gonna relate to that person because they have a disease or whatever, because children will think that way. So I think having the things be so not vague but not hit on point was really nice because I know if I would have seen this when I was 9, I'd have been I'm gonna be friends with her. I am Quinn, come on. So it was just like, I think it was really cool because as much as you want to have spots in theater for everybody, it's like important that these kids see something that they can relate to no matter what. And I think that you capture that like perfectly. Like it was very easy to relate to each character, and no matter what aspect. And I think kids definitely will do the same thing. Like I could easily see this being like a classroom setting and being done well and like helping genuinely.
Well, thank you.
Your staging is really easy to move too. That's really nice.
Katie, did you like it? Did you like the set?
That's our kind of set, man. Not my kind of set. It's not big enough. I caught something though in the listening to it today, and how many times have I heard it now? And I've read it like at least 3 times. And this is for you to consider. The line, "I know your name. If you know my name, then we're not strangers." And strangers is the word that's a problem. Because stranger danger and all of that, because we spend a lot of time teaching that age range. So if I know your name and you know my name, and we get to know each other, then we can be friends. Maybe. That's for you to think about, but it's we used to have the conversation of these guys didn't watch Barney. And they didn't watch Barney because
I hated Barney.
a big purple dinosaur came to their yard and they followed him. That's the storyline. Come with me and we'll go on an adventure. There's nothing good about that.
Valid points.
Now, the worst thing about him is I know the woman who created Barney.
Oh, wow.
And I told her, I said, it's not good. She just made the dinosaur. She didn't make the storyline, but she's a puppeteer. And, but the thing is that we have to be very careful about that kind of language that would make it too easy. You know my name, I know your name, and we're not strangers. It's the strangers. Stranger danger, yeah. But I didn't catch it until I heard it just now.
Yeah, that's good to know. We don't want to set that precedent.
The importance of repetition.
I was waiting for you to ask.
Do we have any more questions, comments?
Kate, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
That's a good challenge, though. I think that this lends itself really easily to a really amazing conference that happens in Cleveland every year. I don't know if it's really going to happen in Cleveland this year, but if it doesn't, it'll be virtual. And there's some really dynamic people that come and present at this conference, and I think that they would love to hear what you did. And so I really think that we should get together over break, and you should definitely put forth a proposal to talk about what you just did here, because I think it's really, really awesome.
Well, thank you.
And I think other people need to hear about it.
Any final thoughts, questions, concerns?
You're good.
Okay, thank you all for coming and for listening.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.